Well, hello there and welcome back to Rise of Flight. We haven't seen Mr. James Phillips for a while, and that is because he's been rampaging about the county in a canary yellow gypsy cart with a horse named Cyril. But anyway, we're going to begin the mission. Yet another reference I bring up, and I'm disappointed when people don't know what it is. But we shall begin the mission. Alright, let us inspect our machine. Today, we are bringing the Davis gun, and we are bringing the 1,650-pound bomb, because usually the railway yards are small enough that we can just drop it right in the center and it'll obliterate everything there. But I also want to see if we can hit a few other targets, because I have a very special plan for this mission. Because normally, we bomb from high altitudes in excess of 10,000 feet. Today, we are coming in at treetop height. I've determined a route we can take down a river past the line, so hopefully we shouldn't get shot at too much, but I suspect we can bring home a few holes today. We can anticipate that. But there's not much else to speak of. How much fuel? We're going to bring a little more fuel, just because our time on station might be a little bit more. But other than that, I think we're about good to go. Okay, that's something I didn't expect. We're going in daylight today. Although, wait a minute. So directly behind us is west, so the sun will be setting, so it'll probably be dark by the time we're at the target. So let's start up those engines, bring the mixture up. Don't go without me. Alright, there we go. They roar to life. We'll lean them out just a bit. We will bring the radiator to half. And I think, you know what, we're just going to leave without them. Because we'll be breaking away from the formation anyway, because I'm coming in low. They most certainly won't. So, this will be just ducky. I just love to admire this machine. I really do like the 0400 quite a lot. Beautiful. And it has a bit more fuel today, so it takes a while to get it into the air. But I'm just going to use the level autopilot and navigate myself. We're going to take a bit more of a direct route to the target, so once we've climbed a bit. I have actually disabled my ROF Refined mod pack because it removes all delayed fuses for bombs, which doesn't work for us because we're coming in low with a really, really big bomb. So that'll be pretty much how it goes. And also it'll be very fun using the Davis gun at altitudes like that. I think I have tested it out, and it won't necessarily blow us out of the sky. As long as we're, a couple hundred feet up, maybe we should be fine. So I guess I'll let you know if anything of interest should occur as we are on our way to the target. I guess we might encounter fighters, because there is still daylight. Isn't that just a splendid view as we fly off away from the sunset? Not so poetically, but still, not so bad. So perhaps it's time I explained my plan a bit better. You see this river here? Have a look at the map. It runs along here, it runs along here, up past the lines. Once we actually get to the lines, we're going to start following it until it branches off, and then we'll take it, and then we'll follow it. It runs pretty much right past the target. So, I'm thinking if we follow the river, like maybe 50 feet above it, we should be reasonably shielded from enemy fire, but we're going to have to see how that goes. If not, we might take a bit more of a direct route. We'll just follow the river across the lines and then just go straight east to the target. So, that's about all there is for now. Right now we're still pretty far away from the lines. We are over here. So, I will come back when we are actually sort of approaching the trenches, because I'll want to be recording pretty much continuously from there so you can see my very fancy flying and all that. So, see you then. Alright, we're coming up pretty close to the lines, and based on what I've alluded to before, you know what that means. We're going to drop to the deck here, and we're just going to have to avoid this bridge, because unfortunately we're too big to go under it. Wouldn't that just be joyful? It is quite a lot of fun to fly under bridges in Rise of Flight, by the way. I highly recommend giving it a go if you should be so inclined. We are going to adjust the mixture, though, just a little bit for optimal RPM for this altitude, which we pretty much have. And we shall press on. So essentially the reason why I wanted to do this is because high altitude level bombing is kind of boring. That's what I was noticing, because it was producing short videos that weren't very interesting. So I thought we would try this because I actually really like sort of the map of the Earth flying. You just really need to keep track of where all your wings and landing gear are and don't get too low. Fortunately, we are at an altitude so that if we crash, we will most likely survive. And in Rise of Flight, if you crash behind enemy lines and survive, you aren't necessarily captured. So, where do we need to go here? Alright, the river goes to the left. Yeah. So we need to go to the left here. Okay. And then this will take us up right through the lines, where the river really should turn red, or really, really brown, or something, but it doesn't. Yes. But with the Davis gun, we should start evaluating other targets, although you can't really see what's there on the map. We might go hit that airfield that's right next to it. Because why not? Especially if something tries to take off from there. We'll fly in low over it and give it a blast with the Davis gun. Because basically what I can do with that is I can engage the level autopilot, and I can go to the Davis gun, and that will keep me level while I'm there, or I can actually fly it myself. Okay, how do I go back? Oh. Ah! Okay. So that's how that's going to work. I might be actually flying manually while we are doing our shenanigans with the Davis gun. Which would be very interesting indeed. Oh, we have this town coming up here. That's on the map. And that's essentially right by the lines. Probably a bit of a noisy neighborhood. Well, I suspect that everyone has fled from it by this point. Because we are in, I think we're into August of 1918. And actually, an interesting point about this aircraft, I got a model of it for Christmas, so look forward to seeing that, I guess. I might throw it in as part of one of these videos at some point. Just so you can see. But that one is of number 207 Squadron, Royal Air Force, April 1918, which we can actually have as a paint scheme in Rise of Flight. I alluded a long time ago that I was going to do a custom paint scheme for this. I haven't done it yet because I'm having some weird things happen with the format. But when the Blinding Sun campaign returns in Ailto Stormovik, which will be sometime soon, I did do a custom paint scheme for that. Well, it's not that custom. I just took the one that we're supposed to fly for that and added some fancy stuff to it, essentially. Alright, we're approaching the lines, and we're going to be dodging shells here pretty soon. An interesting tactic you can use to avoid them is to fly directly towards the one that most recently exploded, and just on the assumption that the gunners generally won't shoot in the same place twice. A lot of them landing in the river, which concerns me a little bit. But hopefully none of them will get too close to us. Because it is very possible for one to just go sputz right underneath us, and we'd be blown a couple of 100 feet up into the air. We might survive the crash. So this seems to be a decent altitude, because we won't dip our wing or anything. So I think we shall carry on this way. Yeah, we're really getting into the trenches now. Wave to our chaps below. Although, actually, at this part of the lines, yeah, we are pretty far north, so it would be British, Canadian, and other Commonwealth who are in this area, because it was mostly the British and Commonwealth were in the north, the French and Americans were in the center and the south. Once the Americans entered, which they have at this point, we noticed on the map there are a few of their squadrons popping up. And they're flying mostly SPADs, but also Newport 28s. because the Newport 28 was just a little bit rubbish. And a lot of them did switch to the SPAD as the war progressed. The thing about the SPAD is it's tough and it's fast, so it's good for booming and zooming with balloon guns and things, but it's also very heavy, so it's not good for maneuvering at all, which is why I don't really like the SPAD. Especially the SPAD 7, because with one machine gun, you need to make really quick passes when you're booming and zooming, and with one gun, you need a lot of time on contact to get enough hits to shoot something down unless you are an absolutely fine marksman, so that's my little rant on SPADs, I guess. Although, I do kind of like the... If I'm flying in the early war, I do kind of like the Newport 11. I just really like the aesthetic of it, and it's, it looks quite nice, and it flies quite well. But other than that, the other French aircraft, well, it was used by Belgium quite a lot, actually, was the Handley HD-1, which was the last aircraft to be added to Rise of Flight. I kind of like that. The trouble is you have all kinds of crap in front of you where the gun sight is, so you can't really see anything but the sight, which is a bit of a problem. But it's kind of neat that it's on floats. Because actually some of the first airplanes took off and landed on water, which kind of makes sense and kind of doesn't. You're a bit more likely to survive crashing into water at lower speeds, I guess. But other than that, I don't know why. Ooh, we have a bombed out village here. That's not very nice. Uh-oh. There was an icon indicating other planes in the area. Interesting. Well, if we are suddenly attacked, we'll know. Am I freezing here? Oh, that might have made some weird noises. If you watched the last Blinding Sun, something like that happened where the game froze and I suddenly sounded like because the audio got distorted. So, oh dear. Those had better be our planes. At this point, the Germans weren't flying at night very much, but they did do it. So, we might just want to try and outmaneuver them. Because I really don't want to get shot down because we're all by ourselves. But we do have a twin Lewis gun pointed out the back. Plus, I think there's another Lewis pointed out the belly. So we are capable of defending ourselves, or if they get into a really, really precise spot, we can hit them with the Davis gun. I actually did have something like that happen in the multiplayer once, where someone was flying below and behind me, and I was able to drop a bomb and hit them. That was quite the thing to behold. I love the multiplayer of Rise of Flight, by the way. It's absolutely splendid. And it's a small enough community that you will genuinely have the same people on a lot of the time, so you can get to have a nemesis and everything. Speaking of which, I have seen Tailmange on there on occasion. I know he does videos of multiplayer stuff. I'm not particularly inclined to do that, because these days I don't play the multiplayer very much, but, who's to say? Alright, we're near to the, well, we're still over no man's land, but we're getting close to the German lines now, so this will be fun. We'll start getting rifle shots from the trenches, probably. And that would just be delicious. Why is this river so clean? It should be full of mud and blood and guts and gigantic dead rats. That's another thing. There were gigantic rats in the trenches. That was a thing that happened. They were like the size of cats. Apparently, so I've heard. Because the trenches were just so nasty, which is why we are flying in the illustrious Royal Air Force. Yes, at this point it is the Royal Air Force, which was formed in April 1918. Mostly so that it could organize itself as a home defense unit, kind of, because the Germans made some raids on the British mainland, and no one was very happy about that. So there were a couple of fighter units stationed in England. And actually, we're going to take a fairly... you know what, let's keep following the river, why not? It seems to have provided us a fairly safe haven so far. We're not getting shot at, really. Except those are the German trenches. So, as is customary, we go... Actually, there's some over there, so... And we give them raspberries and obscene gestures and throw stuff at them. And they go, "Curse you, British Schwein!" And all that. Isn't that just a lovely machine, the Handley page? It is quite clever. And it's huge, even compared to the Gotha. It's quite wonderful. And was used mostly in night raids. I've really looked into its operational history. We're not going to follow the river all the way. We're going to hop over to it. Actually, we're going to start heading south to the target now. But it was used for night raids with up to 40 of them. And they would often fly without escorts because at least until fairly close to the end of the war, the Germans didn't really fly at night. Which was probably for the best. Although these things would be pretty hard to shoot down. You'd need to really try and hit the engines. Because there's just so much airplane there, and it has lots of guns on it. And that was really the thing in World War I. Aircraft flew slow enough, and it was easy enough to hit a moving target from a moving target because they weren't going very fast, that rear seat gunners were genuinely really, really effective, so it was really quite dangerous to just attack something from behind, as any Rise of Flight player knows. Attacking two-seaters directly from behind, unless you're behind and below, which can work, is not necessarily the best option. Alright, we're closing in on the target. And yeah. So railway yard. Or something like that. But hopefully we can just drop this bomb right in the middle. It's still daylight. Is the sun rising? Am I an idiot? Oh my god, those are Fokker D7s. Holy crap. Okay, evasive maneuvers, evasive maneuvers! Oh crap, I didn't even see them, but now we're shooting at them. Oh dear, this could be it. Okay, let's see if we can outrun them. Have them chase us down somewhere. If I could get to the river, that'd be great. Yeah, we're gonna take a bit of a detour to the target today. Oh crap. That's not good. Germans! Germans! The Huns are on us! Oh, the right engine's been hit. I think we're losing fuel. Oh, that's not good. I'm tempted to make a break for the lines now, but I really want to get to the target. Oh, God. If we can get to the river, we might be able to duck into the treetops. Oh, he's close. Shoot him! You idiot. Oh, crap, in a bucket. Okay, I don't want to go down in the trees. That's a recipe for death. Oh, God. I think we might be toast. But that's not going to make me give up. Just gonna keep making evasive maneuvers and trying to get really low so that they have to get down to be able to shoot us effectively. Gonna keep the bomb for now because we're actually we might be able to swing south to the target. Yeah, I'm gonna just head straight for the target and then get out of here because I'm going to fulfill my professional obligations as a pilot of the Royal Air Force. Because we are those magnificent men in their flying machines, except that wing's gonna come off at some point. Oh god, our engine's been hit. You know what? It's time to make a break for home, I think. Yep. We can come back later, except we're losing engine power. Oh, we're gonna be landing behind enemy lines today. Oh, crap. Yeah, we're losing power. Yeah, our engines, we're getting practically no RPM. We are landing behind enemy lines. That's not good. Alright, well... At least the aeroplane's intact. Yeah, we're not going to get any more power out of that engine. Not enough to take off anyway. Although, maybe if we sit here, they'll think they've got us. We'll just keep the engine running. And then we might be able to make a cunning escape. On one engine it doesn't seem likely, but you never know. We'd have to get rid of the bomb. So let's just sit here for a bit and wait for those lot to bugger off. And because we should have plenty of fuel, but I don't have a fuel gauge, which isn't necessarily good. But we'll keep that engine running, and we'll see if we can get the other one started again. Alright, radiator closed, mixture full rich, and turn it over. I don't think that's gonna do it, but You never know. I don't know if we can fly on one engine or not. Like, we could barely climb on the way out here, but we burned some fuel since. Kinda wish I hadn't brought so much fuel and just cranked the throttle. I don't think that's gonna happen. And also we're redlining the temperature on the other engine, so we need to get that radiator back open. Try it again. Okay. Because if we can make it back to our lines, that would be peachy. I don't think we'd make it all the way back to base, but maybe to an airfield near the lines, except there aren't really any. Oh, who's shooting at us? Oh, we're getting rifle shots, I think. Oh, crap. Okay, if we're gonna go, we need to go now. It's now or never. Yeah, because we're a sitting duck, and they figured out we're not quite dead. I don't think we're gonna be able to take off on this. Oh, God. Go away, you fiend! Go away! Ah! Got my revolver. Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him! What gives us the longest takeoff roll? Over here. Over here. I'm just gonna keep my pistol handy. Because I don't know how to put it away, actually. I don't know how to put away the personal weapon. That engine might separate at some point. That'd be a barrel of laughs. Kinda wish we could ditch the bomb, but at this point, that'd be awfully dangerous, because we wouldn't get far enough away from it before the fuse went off. And we can't really dump fuel. If we could sort of just ditch this engine, that'd be nice, but we can't do that. But we're getting a little bit of speed. I think we might be okay. Oh! Poo. Okay. That's us stuck behind enemy lines. I think we might just have to end the mission and see what happens. Oh dear. Curse you, you damned Hun! You wretched, 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 wretcheds. Ah! Alright. Alright, we've gone down behind enemy lines, so we are going to finish flight and keep our fingers crossed and see what has become of us. Maybe we could find a way to sneak back across the lines. Maybe we just went and tackled some Germans and stole their uniforms. And, yeah. I'll have to come up with a story for that. Proceed. I think we're okay. So... I think we got a medal. I have received the Croix de Guerre. Why have I received the Croix de Guerre? That's a French medal, isn't it? Yeah, it's the French medal. Why have I got the Croix de Guerre? I don't know, but I'm not going to question it because it's a medal. But I think we're okay. Mission was failed because we were shot down. But yeah, apparently we came upon a group of Germans who were on leave or something and tripped them and knocked them out and stole their uniforms. And now there are, let's see, how many crew do I have? Now there are 4 Germans running around without a thing to wear, but we managed to get home. So I am going to call that a success for now because we're still alive. So yeah, let's have a look at the world news, actually. What's happening? Germans launch major offensive. Oh, who are the top aces? Richthofen, 80. Bishop, 72. Whee! McCudden, 57. Manak. Gindamer, 53. Blah, 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 blah. Voss, he's been dead for a while, but I guess he's still high on the list. He's been dead since September of 1917. Hey, Canada's got a few aces on here, including the number 2 with 72. That's really awesome. Frenchman flies under river bridges. Well, I can do that too, just not in my thing. Your country needs you. Recruits wanted. Be like James Phillips. Fly the illustrious Handley page Ho 400 into battle. And etc. For king and country. Actually, one of the big recruiting slogans in World War I was God Save the King, wasn't it? Interesting. Anyway, let's see what the next mission has in store for us. We are going to hit a supply dump in the next episode. Until then, I have been Mr. 660, playing Rise of Flight after, well, being long overdue. Toodaloo!